What's up everybody, this is Sam from businessonline.org, and in this video I'll show you how to start a blog with ease without coding. Okay, now the first step to start a blog is that you have to get hosting. Hosting is where all your files are stored in regards to your blog. All of your blog's data, all of your blog's media, everything is stored in the hosting. Now, a good hosting provider that we recommend here at businessonline.org is Bluehost. With Bluehost hosting, you get a free SSL certificate, which is really needed nowadays to secure your site. It is also a major ranking factor for Google. So without the SSL certificate, your site won't be secured from hackers and you'll be at a knot in the Google search engine. Now, if you use our referral link for Bluehost, you receive a free domain name, which is extremely needed for the website. Without the domain name, there would be no blog at all. The blog is actually on the domain name itself. For example, facebook.com is the domain name, and without facebook.com, there would be no Facebook website. So the domain name is extremely needed. Also, if you use the link, you'll get the free SSL certificate we were talking about, and also an automated WordPress installation, which is needed to build the site, which we'll talk about later on in the video. So with that being said, let's get into how to get into hosting. With the Bluehost hosting, you get 3 hosting options: Basic, Plus, and Prime. We always recommend going with the basic option first as a beginner, as it is the cheapest option. With the basic option, you get website space of up to 50 gigabytes, bandwidth unmetered, performance standard, 1 free included domain name, 5 part domains, 25 subdomains, 5 email accounts, and up to 100 megabytes per account in email storage. Now that you've selected your hosting plan, it's now to select a domain name. With Bluehost hosting, you get a free domain name. Bluehost will pay for the domain name for you, so there's no need to worry about that. As I said before, without the domain name, there would be no site at all. So this is absolutely great that Bluehost is actually purchasing the domain name for you. So with that being said, let me just choose a domain name for the sake of this video. testsite3.com can be either be a .com, .online, .site, .website, and etc. Depends on what you want, but it looks more professional if you choose .com. If the domain name is not available, Bluehost will give you a list of other options that are related to your domain name. If within the list you don't want to choose a name from it, you can always think of a different domain name and try again later. But for the sake of this video, I'll choose this domain name. Now that you've chosen your domain name, you must now enter your details so that Bluehost may register your domain name on the web. So just give me a minute while I do this right here. Okay, once you've entered in all of your details, it's time now to pay for the hosting. You may realize that the hosting may cost $285, but we can drastically decrease that price by doing this. Choosing the basic plan by 12 months only. This has reduced the price by $143, and we can now further decrease the price by deselecting these other options, such as domain privacy protection. You can get that within WordPress, so that's not really needed. Site lock security, you can also get that within WordPress, that's not needed also. Code Guard Basic, that is also not needed. Now that you've removed those extra add-ons, the price is now at a whopping $71.40, which is extremely cheap for website hosting. Other hosting providers will provide you with hosting of $100 upwards to even $300 for their basic plan. But Bluehost is giving it for $71.40, which is a steal. So now that you made your payment option, it's now time to pay for the hosting. You can either pay with your credit card by entering your credit card information, or if you don't have a credit card, you could always pay with PayPal by choosing more payment options right here. For the sake of this video, I'll pay with my PayPal account. All I have to do now is select that I have read and agreed to Bluehost terms of service and hit submit. Once you hit submit, you are now the proud owner of your very own website that you will now turn into your own blog. Now that you've gotten hosting, a free domain name, and free SSL certificate, it is now time to use WordPress Site Builder to actually build your blog. Now, the best part of using Bluehost hosting as a hosting provider is that WordPress Site Builder is automatically installed for you. You absolutely don't have to do anything. All you have to do now is log into WordPress backstage or back end, where you can control your site. After you have done that, you will now arrive at the back end of your blog website. At the back end is actually the WordPress back end, where you can now control post. At the post, you can either add new posts, add new categories, or add new tags. In the media, you can add new media or add new media to the library. You can add new pages. You can add comments, answer to comments, and also delete the comments that you don't want. You can customize the appearance of your blog. You can add plugins for added advancements to your blogs. You can decide who can access your blog from the backends with the users tab. Everything that you need is in the palm of your hand when using WordPress. And because you are using WordPress, the blog is already created for you, so you can now check it out. And there it is, your very own blog with your first post to the world. All you have to do now is get to the next step of starting your blog. Now the next step is for you to choose a niche. This is fairly simple because a niche is what your blog is actually about. It can be fashion, traveling, anything that your heart desires. And the mere fact that you're planning to start a blog, which means that you already chosen a niche. Now the other step is actually the nitty-gritty of it all. Customizing your site. This is where you make the site completely yours and completely different from every other blog website on the web. Now the first step in customizing your blog is choosing a nice theme for your blog. To choose a nice theme, head over to Appearance and click Themes. Once you're there, you can add new theme. WordPress has more than 1,000 free themes at your disposal. So themes are just there for the picking. But for the sake of this video, we'll choose the Herio theme. Not that we recommend it in any way, we just choosing it for the sake of this video. You can choose whichever theme that you like for your blog post. Now that you've made your selection, all you have to do now is click install and wait for it to install. Once it has finished installed, all you have to do now is click activate. And that's it, you're done. You now have a theme for your entire website without even touching a bit of code because you've used WordPress. To check it out, just click customize. When you click customize, you'll actually get a preview of the entire site that you're customizing. You have now various settings which you can choose to change to tailor the site to your liking. For example, you have the general options where you can now choose to upload your logo, upload your favicon, those are the little icons above the browsers, upload your Apple Touch icons, things like that, change your fonts, change content, change single post, change site identity, change the colors, etc. You can just have fun with this when you're ready to build your blog. But what we do recommend though is that you have menus for your blog. With the menus, your visitors will now be easier to navigate through your site as they look through your post. Now, in order to create the menus, just head on over back to your back end. Now you're gonna add categories to your menus. So just head over to post, add new categories. Now say for instance you have a fashion blog, you would want the menus to be tailored around fashion. So you would want the category, which is the menu item, to be named towards fashion. For example, women's apparel. Then you just click add new category. You can add as many as you'd like. For example, men's apparel. Add new category. Summer suit wear. Add new category. That's it for the categories, and with the categories is where all your posts will be in. So for example, if you make a post that is tailored to men's apparel, it would be in the men's apparel categories, which would be a part of the menu item. But don't forget that every blog also needs an about us page and a contact us page. So to create this, head over to pages, add new, create an about us page. Right here is where you write anything about your blog to tell the world what you and your blog is about and what you intend to do and write about. Now that you've done that, just hit publish. Add new. To get the contact us page. Create now the contact us page. Publish it. Now you might wonder why we left the contact us form page blank, and that is because you can now use a plugin to create it for you. So head over to plugins, add new, type in contact form 7 right here. Install and activate it. Activate it. After you've done that, you'll now have a new tab called Contact. Just head over now to Contact Forms. Copy the short code for the contact form. Head back over to Pages. Choose the Contact Us page. Edit it. Now enter in the short code and you're all done. Update it and it will now create a contact form for you without you having to code. You can now preview the changes when you're done. And there it is, your contact form on your contact page, where your visitors can send you messages. Okay, now to get back to the menu items, go back to the back end of your WordPress site. Go to now Appearance, Menus. When you're there, you now add whatever you like to the menus. So you can now add the Contact Us pages and the About Us page. Then you can now add the categories to the menu as well. Add to menu. Customize the menu however you like it. Rename the menu. For this video, we'll name it Main Menu. And save the menu. Now let's view the changes you've made. There you have it now. The menu of choice is now created with the women's apparel, all of the categories, the About Us page, and the Contact Us page. Further customization can be done by you by just playing around with the Appearance tab, which can be done on your free time. It's very simple to follow. Now to the next part on how to start a blog. Now that you've customized your blog post to your liking, now comes the fun part. Writing your first blog post. To write your first blog post, head back over to the back end of your WordPress blog, go to Post, Add New. When you're there, you'll be given various tools needed to create your blog post. All you have to do now is create a title of your blog post. And actually write the blog within this block. To save time, I've already created a blog post. But you get the gist of it. So all you have to do now is create the blog post and customize it to your liking using the tools above. They're pretty self-explanatory, so there's no need to get into all of these. Now, if you choose, you may also add media such as pictures to your blog post by clicking the Add Media button. Select files from your computer or wherever you have the files. Open them. Load it up and insert it into post. Once you've done that, it will be automatically inserted into the post. You can now fix it up to your liking, aligning it to the center or wherever you choose. You can also do this for videos and audio, but for the videos, if you upload your own videos to your site, this will drastically decrease your bandwidth and also slow down your site. So for a trick, you can create the videos and add it to YouTube and then add the video data to your site by just linking the URL to your blog post. So for example, if you wanted to put a music video into it, all you have to do now is just entering the URL of that video from YouTube, and that's completely it. You can't see it on this end. Oh, wow, WordPress updated, so you can now actually see the video on this end, and that's it. The video is included in your blog post without wasting your bandwidth at all. So now all that is left is for you to select the category you want the post in. So I'll just select a random category. Choose a tag that you want the post in. Tags can be similar to the categories themselves. Add it. Select a featured image of the post. The featured image is the image that would be seen first. If you want, you can select the same image again. Now just publish it. And that's it. Now just preview the changes. And there you go. That's it. Your very own blog post, including all of the pictures, the text, and even the video. And that's it. Thanks guys for watching this video. And remember, if you would like a free SSL certificate for your blog site, the links are below. Thanks again for watching and subscribe to our channel for more.